Hi, so welcome back everyone. So in this video we're going to look at the select statement. So every query in SQL needs a select and from statement. Select is used to state which columns you want to display, and each column name must be separated by a comma. The name of the table you want to query is then entered after from. After this, we can add where to show any conditions we might want to apply. This can be, for example, where the name equals John. We can add multiple conditions by separating them with and. If you want to show every column from a table, you can use a star instead of entering every column name. If we want to show data where only one of two or more conditions must be met, we can use or after the where clause. We also might want to show data where something is not equal to a value. For example, sales not equal to 0. You can do this by entering either of these operators. Let's take a look at some examples. So the first query here will show all customers whose last name is not equal to Young. You'll also notice that I have to put Young inside quotation marks because it is a string. Contact last name is a string data type. So let's have a look at this in MySQL Workbench. Okay, so I'm just inside MySQL Workbench here. So the first thing I'll do is I double click Classic Models so that it's bold. That means that whenever we're writing queries, we don't have to tell the query which schema we want to query from. It already knows that it will be Classic Models. So I'm just going to open a new query here. There's a little plus SQL here. And what I'll do is just start writing select star, and we'll just show everything from the customers table first. And you can see the third column here is called contact last name. And if we order this, you can click on the column name and you can order it, click it again, and it will be in descending order. We have a few people whose surname is Young. So we can remove these people by just adding in our where statement. So I'll just do where contact last name is not equal to Young, and we need to put Young in single quotation marks. And it needs to be the same case sensitivity as we see displayed in the data. So you can see it's a capital Y. And for not equal to, I will use the left and right arrow, and we just hit Control and Enter, and it will run that query for us. And now we can see there isn't anyone called Young in the output. Okay, so the second query here shows the 6 columns: customer name, first name, last name, phone, city, and country from the customers table, where the country is equal to the USA and the first name is Julie. And the second query shows the first and last name for customers from either Norway or Sweden. Okay, so I'm just into our old query here, and you can open a new query if you like, but what I often do is just put a semicolon after the first query, and then you can start writing another query. So I'll just start typing in the 6 columns that we wanted to display, but if we actually write from our table name first, once we start to type the columns that we want to display, you can see a drop down that shows the column name. So it's probably better to write from our table name first. So we just want the contact last name, the phone, city, and the country. So let's just run this output first. So we can see here country USA is there, so we'll just add that in our where clause, where country equals open quotation USA, and the first name, the contact first name, is equal to Julie. Close quotation. So I've just run that, and you can see there's 4 results here. 4 people named Julie from the USA. So I'll just put another semicolon and then we can start onto that second query. So we want to show the first and last name. I'll just copy the query from above actually, because we're using the same table, and I can just delete the columns that we don't want to display. So we only want to show the first name and last name. And we only want to see this where the country is equal to Norway, or, so we need to write the country name again. So you can't just write where country equals Norway or Sweden. So we just write where country equals Norway or country equals Sweden, and then we can see the 5 results here. So you can see if we did just try and show, let's just show the city and the country as well. So we can just see that where each person's from, and we can see it's Norway and Sweden. But if we did try and just do it where country equals Norway or Sweden, and we try to run this, you can see it only returns the results for Norway. And in some databases, it would actually return an error here because that's an error code. We need to actually add in country equals Sweden as well. Okay, so in the next video, I'll ask you to try 2 questions on your own. I'll see you there.